Today's game is being brought to you by Trans-South. We are proud to lend to you. And Budweiser, the king of beers. Reach for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And Mazda, and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products. The fans are ready. And the teams are back on the field as the Clemson Tigers leading the Virginia Cavaliers 27-0 here at halftime. You saw some of the action in replay form during our statistical recap there at halftime. But Danny Ford right now, I would assume Kim McQuilkin is having to charge his troops up and say, "Now, we're 27-0 and we scored that many points. They can too."
Well, he doesn't want to have the letdown, obviously, in the second half. I think this second half is much more crucial for Virginia, however. A blowout, an opening game, could affect you for the entire season. I think it's important that they regroup, come back, and play respectably in this second half so they get some momentum going into the next week's game against VMI.
Clemson yet to break their huddle for the opening kickoff of the second half.
You know, Arden, you hate, even though it's 27-0 only at halftime, you hate to count someone down and out at halftime, but Clemson has just been so awesome in the first half. It's inconceivable that Virginia can come back in the second half, but as we've seen many times in the past, anything can happen.
Donald Igwebuike setting the ball up there at the 40-yard line, getting set to kick off to start the second half for Clemson. Back deep is Antonio Rice on the far side, or the near side rather, and Barry Word on the near side. There you see number 4 on the right is Barry Word. Number 47 is Antonio Rice. Word a tailback and Rice a fullback on the depth chart. Both with excellent speed. Igwebuike puts it high, a little bit short this time for him at the 4-yard line. Word, good speed. Can he break through the hole? Good tackle that time by Kevin Brady. He's only a freshman from Clarkston, Georgia, number 2.
And it's going to be Ferguson starting the second half, Art.
George Welch deciding on number 18. His sophomore, who was a wide receiver last year, Kevin Ferguson, taking his first snaps. On the varsity at center, or I should say at quarterback, coming into this ball game, and he's getting another shot now with the 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Petty and Morris, the running backs. That's Morris. Morris trying to slip the tackle. Falls ahead for a gain of 4 yards on the play. Terrence Mack got him on the ankles and wouldn't let him go.
And that time, Virginia did a nice job of double teaming William Perry in the middle.
Mike Battle with just the block that Morris needed to get through. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Ferguson to Petty. Can he get to the outside? He's got great speed. Good pursuit by the cornerback coming up on the near side, and that's Tyrone. Tyrone Davis, number 37, who got that fine interception we saw during the replay at halftime.
Well, here we see him breaking to the outside. He gets around the corner, but you mentioned Tyrone coming up very quickly in support.
Tyrone in the left cornerback spot. After the terrific speed of Petty, got around the linebacker Chucky Richardson. 3rd and 4. Ferguson to throw. Can't hit his man. John Muha intended for him.
And this is one of the few legitimate straight drop back type passes Virginia's thrown this evening. Both backs out of the backfield. He's trying to throw the out ball. Had good protection that time. The ball floated just a little bit, though, out of bounds.
Michael Perry with pretty good pursuit on the play. Reggie Pleasant is deep to receive the possible punt by Ferguson, standing on his own 21-yard line. Pleasant is just about, he's just inside his own 30. This time a nice punt. Pleasant going back to the 24, returnable. Makes it to the 30-yard line, where Clemson Tigers will take over 1st and 10. Chris McMahon making the tackle, the 6'3" defensive end. With the score, Clemson 27, Virginia nothing. 13:58 remaining in the third quarter. We'll pause now for word from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network. We go to the pro set. Flowers gets the ball, going to the outside. Gain of 2 yards on the play. Couldn't get around the Joe Ellis block in time as Russ Swan forced him out on the play.
The ball for the Tigers.
It is a gain of about 4 yards. No, that places a gain of 2 now.
And
gain of 2.
It's nice to see Kenny Flowers back in there. He was shaken up in the first half, showing no signs of it on that play.
10 carries for 47 yards for Flowers. Ray Williams is split to the near side on a 2nd and 7. That's Rulak in motion. Will go toward the slot. Epley to Williams. He makes it to the 45-yard line, first down and more. Lester Lyles finally making the stop. Nice bullet by Epley.
Oh, and this is execution to perfection. This is a rollout all the way. Epley gets those shoulders squared so nicely to the line of scrimmage before he lets it go. Williams had just gone down about 15 yards and curled up. He was wide open, finding the open space in the zone defense that Virginia was playing.
Credit Flowers with a good block in the backfield as well. So the first down from just outside the 45-yard line. Up the middle. Flowers on the carry. And he's tripped up by Kilgannon, Tom Kilgannon.
You know, I love to talk about quarterbacks in terms of squaring their shoulders, but the reason I mention it so much is because it's so hard to do. It's so hard to teach. And when you get a quarterback that executes and gets his shoulders in the proper position like Epley does, almost on every play, you're going to see the results that you're seeing out there this evening.
From the 43, second down and 7 yards to go. Epley with a pitch back. Griffin. Correction. Flagler, first down, look out. He might go. He's got the great speed. Flagler, touchdown. Charles McDaniel just couldn't get the edge on him. As Flagler goes the entire distance, some 46 yards. Terrence Flagler, boy, he's been through it all. Knee surgery after 2 games and 200 yards last year. He's coming back.
Showing no signs of that knee surgery. Here's the linebacker. McDonald gets caught inside. And look at Flagler turn on the jets down the sideline. Hard to believe this man had surgery last year. 5 carries, 58 yards in this game. 2 touchdowns for Terrence Flagler. A very happy man. 6'1" sophomore. Igwebuike puts it up, and it is good. And so the Clemson Tigers are making mincemeat of the Virginia Cavaliers defense. 34-0, Clemson. There it is, just a toss sweep. Look at Flowers, the block on the corner. We mentioned McDonald's caught inside, and look at Flagler go. Nice cutback around the 5-yard line, just breezing into the end zone.
Well, that's got to make a surgeon happy, I'll tell you.
Absolutely.
And a lot of dedication goes into coming off of knee surgery in the offseason. Of course, he did have lots of recuperation time during the regular season after being in only 2 games and then having the whole offseason. But it takes pure dedication and hard work to get that knee back into shape to run that quick.
Well, that's a good point.
34-0. 4 plays, they went 69 yards, capped by the 43-yard touchdown run of Flagler. They only had the ball, and we were talking about time of possession earlier. They only had the ball 1 minute and 12 seconds. That's all they needed to score.
Now, Clemson is essentially a ball control offense, but when you take 1 minute and 12 to go the length of the football field, you've got a lot of big plays in there as well.
Igwebuike's kick high, and Word will take it at the goal line. He'll run it. Nice tackle that time by Denton Hall, a sophomore from Greensboro, North Carolina. So the Cavaliers will take over the football at the 23-yard line.
At this point in the ball game, what Virginia needs to do is just concentrate on moving the chains. You want to establish some sort of a consistency. You can't think in terms of the scoreboard now. You just want to get out there and get some first downs, get some continuity back.
Ferguson back to look. Avoids the rush. Berlin, the tackle from behind, gets some help out from the linebacker Walls. Either that or Chucky Richardson. Let's check.
Well, it was a straight drop back pass, a 5-step drop for Ferguson. Really didn't even have time to get his back foot set. Here we see William Perry coming right up the middle. One-on-one, the center trying to block him. That's a tough assignment.
Watch 76, that's Berlin. 56, Chucky Richardson, and they combine for the stop. Second, 9 yards to go for a first down. Trying up the middle, Steve Morris, but Perry had some influence there, and Berlin.
That is a man.
And Jeff Wells, number 88, also with a hand in the tackle. Steve Morris now 22 yards and 8 carries, has suffered the pains of that up front crew of the Clemson Tigers. 3rd and 6, just into the 3rd quarter. Ferguson back to pass, wide open on the play. Nick Merrick, the senior from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. This is the type of confidence that Virginia has to try to instill right now. They can't worry about the scoreboard, Kim.
Well, exactly, and this is fine execution by Ferguson. It's a play-action pass, but he gets back quickly and gets set. That's the key to this play. He got his feet underneath him quickly. They found the hole in the zone, and they got a nice completion.
Ferguson now 3 out of 7 for 42 yards through the air on the 1st and 10 from the 42. He's going to the air again, drops it off. It's complete to Steve Morris, the fullback. He fumbles the ball, but it goes out of bounds. He might have been down. I think they would have called him down on the play anyway. First down, another first down inside the 48-yard line of Clemson.
Well, this is a well-designed play. It's a bootleg. Ferguson coming out to his left. They just sent the tight end across the middle. He put the ball right on him. First down. These are the kind of things they need to do.
Being very mobile away from the front four and finding the seams in the secondary.
Here he goes again.
Straight drop, but you can see what happens up the middle.
Clemson is at a point in the ball game, Art, where they've got their ears back. They can just keep coming and enjoy themselves.
Dwayne Meadows, number 84. You saw him rip through. Here's the scoring summary. Igwebuike, the field goal. Flagler, the 1-yard run. A 46-yard reception by Williams. Rulak, a 34-yard reception. Igwebuike, a 31-yard field goal at 27-0. And then Flagler, a 43-yard run to make it 34-0. Virginia stalled on that sack.
Art, as a quarterback, I wouldn't want to be 2nd and 22 against this Clemson defense.
That's a fact. Perry on the move, but look at the nice mobility. And a necktie tackle out of bounds. Eldridge Milton, the linebacker, getting the necktie tackle on the quarterback, Kevin Ferguson.
William Perry, here he is again. He beats the center, forcing Ferguson to use that athletic ability. There's Berlin after him. And almost a personal foul.
Eldridge Milton, 87, finally getting a hold.
3rd and 20, Art. You call it.
3rd and 20. I'd give it to my fullback if I was a quarterback. I'll tell you that right now. He's running for his life. Illegal procedure. Looked like pulling up was Dombrowski. And that's not a usual move for that veteran. He's a junior, but he's had a lot of playing time, and it could be the cadence count. A brand new quarterback many times, and we saw this happen in earlier moments of the football game.
Well, that combined with the fact that Clemson's defense is so intense right now, they're putting on such a pass rush. As an offensive lineman, you want to protect your quarterback. You want to get the best possible jump you can, and Clemson forces mistakes.
Virginia now has been penalized 50 yards, and it's always been in crucial moments on a 2nd or 3rd down, and to give them long yardage to go for a first down.
Well, that's that experience factor we talked about.
34-0, 9:47 remaining 3rd quarter. Looks like they're going to send the student body, but then Watson moves back. Berlin breaks through the line. Steve Berlin is so quick. We saw him a lot of spectacular plays last year as a backup.
Oh, look at that move. Just an Ole move over the top of the left guard.
He's so big, 6'5", 265 pounds. You wonder how he got through any open area at all there.
As an offensive coach, I'm trying to figure out who do I concentrate on in that defensive line. You block Perry and Berlin's free. You block those two guys, and here comes Meadows.
The loss of All-American James Robinson doesn't mean much when you see like Steve Berlin doing something like that. Ferguson, the punter. Reggie Pleasant at the 21. He's got good speed and makes a nice cut inside. Making the stop is Charles McDaniel. Normally a linebacker, and he's in there in special teams right now. So Clemson takes over in good field position at the 38-yard line, leading it 34-0 over Virginia. We'll be back in just a moment. Stacy Driver in at tailback as Epley calls the signals from the 38-yard line. First down play. Epley on the roll. Comes back. Well, that time that was a wise pass because he looked to the short side of the field, and that was a very dangerous pass if he'd let it go to the intended receiver, I think, who was originally called for. He looked for Dunn at that time.
Well, they had a bootleg set up into the short side of the field, and you're right, Art, there were a lot of people out there. Epley decides to pull up and come back across the field to Dunn. He's going to fake to his tailback and then roll to his right. He's got fine protection, but there's a lot of Virginia defenders out there, so he throws back across the field to Dunn. A catchable ball, really. Usually we're used to seeing Dunn make those catches. 2nd and 10 from the 38, the option. Stacy Driver. Out of bounds close to the first down marker. Let's see where they put it down. They might put it down at the 46-yard line. Sweeney and Daly combining to push him out of bounds. And whenever Epley's got that ball in his hands, you're just waiting for something to happen. It's an exciting offense. Nice soft pitch, too, to Stacy Driver, who tried to make the most of it. It'll be 3rd and a long 2. Make it 3rd and 3 to go. Ball at the 46 with 8:37 remaining 3rd quarter. Stacy Driver just calling on his speed. Out of bounds at the 40-yard line. First down and about 10 yards to spare. Lester Lyles catches up with him. Well, that play was made that time because number 15, Terrence Rulak, the wide receiver, came back and made a nice block downfield. Here we're going to see the toss. And he's already got the corner, but what we don't see is Rulak making the block downfield, giving his teammate the running room down the sideline. That block prevented Driver from slowing down in any way and making the corner a little bit quicker. Driver with 44 yards in 5 carries so far on the 1st and 10 from the 40. David Bond stacking up the middle that time. No, with 8:15 left in the 3rd quarter, I would imagine that backup quarterback Anthony Peretti is feeling like he may get in a game 2 weeks in a row. Rodney Quick unable to make much yardage. A gain of 1 for Rodney. 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Penalty flag, Stacy Driver. Has too many men to beat that time, and he's stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Somebody might have pulled out of there a little soon. You know, Stacy Driver is such an effective ball carrier that we sometimes forget his stature. The man is only 5 feet 8 inches tall, 180 pounds, but boy, does he motor. Young man from Griffin, Georgia, really calls on his initial burst of speed to stay out of trouble. All of the Clemson backs seem to have great acceleration. The downstick has 2nd down still. Clemson already with 381 total yards, and of course last year we said they got 509 for the ball game. That's just rushing 223. Now the downstick goes to 3rd and 9. Epley dropping deep, has his man all alone. Rulak at the 25 bursts his way with a nice short move to the 22. William Frazier and Bob Sweeney finally making the tackle, but Epley that time had to pick out the open man. Well, and what makes this work is Rodney Quick, the fullback, there it is right there, makes a great block for Epley, gives him all day to throw the ball. Notice Rulak coming back towards the ball. That's a great coaching point. This Clemson team is well coached.
And leaping as he catches it, too, to prevent any locking of the knees. 1st and 10 from the 23. Epley with a beautiful, beautiful performance once again here this evening. Pitch back to Stacy Driver. And he's collapsed upon by a triad of Cavaliers at the 22-yard line. Logeman leading the crew with a junior linebacker from Sterling, Virginia.
Well, these Clemson backs not only run well, but they block for each other quite well. That was Rodney Quick again, throwing the key block at the corner. Not much yardage that time, but the effort is there, and it's easy to see why they rack up the total yards that they do.
Charleston to the near side, and it's Rulak to the far side on a 2nd and 9 with 7:07 remaining 3rd quarter. Clemson 34-0. K.D. Dunn in motion. Epley, the options, got his pitch man, Stacy Driver. Driver decided to cut inside, makes it down to the 7-yard line. William Frazier making the stop. What a move, though, by the quarterback. Watch Mike Epley as he'll draw everyone in. They go for number 14, and it leaves Driver, the corner, completely open.
Epley is just so smooth. He's reading that end even before he pulls the ball back out of the stomach of his fullback. The quick pitch, and Driver's way downfield.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Stacy Driver veers off the play, and he gets down to the 2-yard line where he's tripped up there by Logeman, Scott Logeman, a junior. He's a 211-pound linebacker.
Well, Art, we just learned that at halftime, Epley had career passing yardage of 2,128 yards. This puts him 7th in the all-time Clemson passing figures. He started the game in 10th place. He's having quite a night.
38,676 to watch this ball game. That is a new stadium record. The largest opening day crowd in the history of Virginia Cavalier football. 2nd with 2 yards to go for a touchdown. Stacy Driver, did he make it in? Yes, he did. A beautiful, strong effort from the young man as he collided with Logeman and still got in the end zone. That's sheer desire on his part.
Well, Logeman comes up and makes a big hit on Driver, but that low center of gravity and his quickness gets him in the end zone. Here's the cutback and a good hit by Logeman, but Driver's able to get it in the end zone for 6.
That time it was fullback Henry Carter with the block to the outside as Stacy Driver went inside. 40-0 Clemson. Igwebuike set to kick. It's up, and he stays perfect for the season. Let's check out that play. Stacy Driver and the fine blocking. 40 is Carter.
Here's the cutback. A lot of desire on that play for 5'8", 180 pounds.
Yes, against a man who's 6'2", 211. With the score, Clemson 41, Virginia nothing. We'll pause now for a word from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network. New kicker in the lineup for Clemson. Don Inman will put his toe to the football. Word going over for it, takes it at the 6-yard line. Oh, and another fine hit on the special teams by Kevin Brady, number 2. That's the 2nd fine collision that he has caused on a kickoff. So you see, Clemson had the ball for only 2 minutes and 54 seconds. They went 62 yards in 10 plays, capped off by Stacy Driver's 2-yard run. Kevin Ferguson, the quarterback. It's experience time now.
Yeah, it's nice to see George Welsh stick with Ferguson in his first game.
Well, he's got several more games. Tipped up into the air. The interception is made, and it will be another touchdown. Kenny Danforth, a junior out of Aiken, South Carolina. It was intended for John Ford.
Well, Danforth is a strong safety. He was playing a zone where he's got the short flat. The ball, I believe, was batted at the line of scrimmage. There it is, right there. Tipped up into the air, and Danforth just in his zone. comes up, makes the interception, goes all the way for the score.
From that angle, I would guess that Craig Crawford got a hand on the football from the left end spot. Number 49.
Ferguson took a 3-step drop, which means his offensive linemen have to chop the defensive lineman down. They've got to hit him down around the legs to bring their arms down, and he didn't get it. Obviously, the offensive tackle didn't get the job done that time.
Third Clemson interception. This one good for a touchdown, and Igwe makes it 48-0. And the PA system is calling for the bus drivers to report to their buses.
A.C. Ferguson, just a 3-step drop.
Crawford.
Nobody hitting Crawford at all. The fullback should have come up. The ball bounces up. Danforth's on the spot.
Still 5 minutes and 40 seconds remaining to be played, third quarter. Clemson 48-0. So if you're a Cavalier fan, you hate to hear the news that they've been outscored 96-0 in the last 7 quarters of football. But this is their season's opener, and they're going to get better. Because they're under George Welch, and we all know that this man is an outstanding football coach.
Well, Welch has just a great reputation from his days at the Naval Academy and has done a super job here at Virginia. It's unfortunate for the Cavalier followers that they had to open up against one of the top teams in the country. Look at this kick.
Word decides not to run it out, and that's wise. He's 5 yards, at least 5 yards, maybe even 50.
And that's the backup kicker, Art.
Inman, number 28.
You know, the old saying, success breeds success. What a luxury for Danny Ford to be able to substitute so many people in his first 2 games of the season. He's getting a lot of experience on the depth chart at backup positions, and that's got to pay off later in the year.
Really, the only difference between this game and last year was that the defense last year for Clemson, bend but not break, was the motto, and they did not break in key situations, even though Virginia got some yardage. What a tackle getting through there. Ken Brown finally getting the grasp of Kevin Ferguson and getting the sack.
You know, and what a great individual effort by Ferguson, and all he has to show for it is about an 8-yard loss.
Henry Walls in at linebacker once again, along with Williams. We've got Meadows, Brown, Perry, and Berlin.
Well, the graphic there says that Clemson sacked the quarterback 3 times. That really doesn't tell the whole story because there have been so many near sacks and rushes that it's been quite disruptive.
2nd and 17 from the 14-yard line, or maybe the 13. And well, I wouldn't want to try to run through that Berlin bunch up there. Berlin and Williams. Antonio Rice tried, and he did with the line surge, gain a couple of yards just outside the 15-yard line. Those 2 linemen working together could be the best in the country. You know, we haven't seen a lot of them around the country with tapes and films and so forth and in person, but I can't imagine. Now watch, they're stacked. Berlin is at the nose guard right now, and you're not sure which side Perry's going to go. Now he breaks to the right side to set up in the line of scrimmage. But those 2 guys working together are just awesome. 3rd and 14 for the Cavaliers. Hello, Mr. Perry.
Well, Art, you described it right before the snap of the ball. Virginia not knowing where William Perry is going to line up, and it certainly pays off.
You see the edge shoulder of Berlin. Then Perry comes to the other side, and there's just no chance.
Well, Berlin took the guard center gap. He took 2 players with him. That freed Perry up for the big sack.
The 6th sack of the ball game for Clemson, and Perry now needs only 3 sacks for a new record for a Clemson ball player.
You know, Ferguson's got a punt here, Art, and I believe he's a little shaken up.
Deep is Kevin Brady. He's earned that spot, standing in the 40-yard line. Beautiful punt, though. Kim, he put it together. Brady back to the 50-yard line. Nice tackle by Lester Lyles, who must be frustrated at this point. Well, it's going to be a big challenge for these Cavaliers to try to get it together. They have BMI next week. Clemson will have the week off before they face the University of Georgia between the hedges in Athens.
You know, Art, the biggest victory in this series, which is 23 games, Clemson winning all of them, was in 1959. It was 47-0. They've already surpassed that score.
Peretti, the quarterback, number 17. 3 minutes, 24 seconds remaining, third quarter. Griffin cuts inside. Look at that. 30-yard line. Steve Griffin to the 15 and out of bounds at about the 12. Penalty flag back at midfield.
Number 44.
And Clemson just keeps coming and coming at you.
Holding is the preliminary call.
There they get to the number 3 man in the depth chart. You can't fault Danny Ford. It's not like he's running up the score. He's got his third-string tailback in there who just happens to be a speed merchant.
You know, here's a big side of this ball game too. Virginia not only being outplayed, but 6 penalties for 50 yards, and this is only the second penalty for a total of 15 against Clemson in the ball game.
Oh, and as I said earlier, I feel like Clemson forces those mistakes. And here's Griffin. What a great move. There's Flowers on the block. A great block by Flowers. But look at this move here. Jumping over the defender. Now he turns it on. And look at the hustle by Flowers. He made the block at the line of scrimmage. There's Flowers 30 yards downfield helping out his teammate.
That's great spirit. First down and 20 at the 39-yard line. Riggs in motion. Peretti the option, and he throws it away, trying to pick up the football as Griffin. Unfortunate.
I should correct myself. That wasn't Flowers. That was Henry Carter downfield, number 40, hustling on that last play.
You're right as far as the comment, though. Carter had to go a long way to get that hustle and get that block. The fake to Carter up the middle, and Peretti just wasn't looking at his toss man, his pitch man.
Well, he had the ball a little low. You like to make that toss from the chest, and that time Anthony had the ball down below his waist, and that's why he lost control of it.
Clemson 424 yards. They still have the football. Peretti getting some experience, looking for Ray Williams in the open at the 49-yard line. So that'll give Clemson a 3rd and 7 yards to go for a first down with 2:43 remaining in the third quarter and running. William Frazier, Lester Lyles combining for the tackle.
Oh, this is a roll to the left. He's got 2 blockers out in front of him. Plenty of time. He gets his shoulders nicely squared. And that's Williams coming back to the ball again. Good catch down on the deck.
Butler to the near side. Boyer goes to the far side. Griffin is the tailback. Goes to your fullback right up the middle, Henry Carter.
You know, despite the score, we haven't seen much gambling on Virginia's part defensively. I think one of the reasons is they really respect the team speed of Clemson, and when you blitz, you're going to be in a man-to-man situation, and I think that they feel they can't get into a man-to-man situation against Clemson, so consequently they're not getting a lot of heat on the Clemson quarterbacks.
Russ Swan and David Bond making the stop for the Cavaliers. Bob Sweeney is now deep to receive Hatcher's punt that just floats high, and he has to call for the fair catch at the 11-yard line. That's where the Cavaliers will take over. Another brilliant punt by Dale Hatcher. I tell you, the pros have got to be looking at this young man. He's 6'2", 195-pound senior. He told me his mother didn't like the idea of him being in a contact sport, but she did let him go into the punt, passer, kick contest, and he is a bona fide graduate of that, that's for sure.
Well, I bet she'll like it if he signs a contract someday in the NFL. He misses it. When he hits 140 yards, it looks like a miss.
The 3-year Letterman. First and 10 at the 12 for the Cavaliers. 1:39 remaining in the quarter. Pitch back goes to Rice. Henry Walls catching up. And that was only after Keith Williams made the tackle from behind. Williams and Duncan and Isaacs along with Johnson, the defensive secondary. Terrence Mack is back in the Bandit. We have the Perry brothers and Berlin up front. Ferguson just gets around Mack. Lets it fly. Unfortunate for the Cavaliers. It looked like a well-executed play under the circumstances.
It developed nicely. Just a little bit of timing. The timing factor off just a little bit. That'll come with experience.
Intended for Zimmerlich. Ferguson now 53 yards is 4 out of 9.
Just off his fingertips. Actually could have been caught.
You quarterbacks are all alike. The guy touches it. He extends his 6'2" body out, barely tips the ball, and you say it should be caught. Now, come on, Kim.
Look at this.
Look out for Mr. Perry, the younger one, dished off to Word. Word's got great speed, and he gets the first down and more, moving over the 30. Mike Battle with a great block at that right guard spot.
Well, and a good job by Ferguson holding on to the ball the last possible instant. Let it go to Word.
I will give you credit, you quarterbacks. That is courage, pure courage.
He paid the price right there.
And a penalty on top of it. I think it'll probably be roughing the passer.
Look at Word here, though.
Word's got the speed, and it looks like he's got the toughness. He averaged 4.1 a carry last year, had 3 touchdowns and 50 carries is all. 30th yard marched off against Clemson now, and the first down already acquired. It'll be up at the 48.
What do you think about the shorts on the referees this year?
I think they look kind of cute myself.
Watch this hit on the quarterback, Ferguson.
Now when it gets warmer, I think they should be allowed to wear shorts.
Look at Perry putting his helmet right on his chest.
But I think we should be able to wear them too.
I've got mine on.
First and 10, 31 seconds remaining before the quarter break, and that's Mr. Perry doing a little extracurricular activity against Dombrowski. Dombrowski took the brunt of that. Illegal procedure, though, against Clemson.
Well,
Michael Perry, 275 pounds. He gave him a pretty good shot.
Oh, Dombrowski, I don't think is going to be denied. He's 6'5", 290, and 48-0, but they're mixing it up down there.
I tell you, that was close as to the illegal procedure. Whether Michael Perry got into the zone before Dombrowski moved, that's the big question, and of course the officials are much more qualified to note that. First and 5 now for the Cavaliers. The pitch back goes to Word. Oh, Word's looking tough. Gets around Berlin, gets around Perry, and moves his way up to the 46-yard line.
Got Ferguson down.
Kevin Ferguson looking like he does not feel well at all.
The key defensive play on this play is Steve Berlin all the way outside from his defensive tackle. Look at Berlin
76.
Getting outside here. He's going to force the ball carrier to make a move, cut back inside.
Look at the speed of that big guy.
Great pursuit.
And then the pursuit coming in from behind.
And Ferguson's okay.
When you get a guy that big, Berlin and Perry, that move that swiftly laterally, your linebackers are going to have a smile on their face.
I'll tell you, it's very scary to be a quarterback when you've got guys that are 270, 290, 300 pounds, and they're faster than you are.
Timeout called. Ferguson's still in the ball game, and time runs out in the quarter. That's the end of the third quarter with the score: Clemson 48, Virginia nothing. We'll pause now for a word from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network.
Val Cutson's men's department offers distinctive traditional clothing for the man of today. Clothing designed to be as appropriate on a weekend drive to the country as well as in the office. We don't take tradition lightly. That's why we're proud to feature the quiet assurance and classic good looks of Fashions by Palm Beach, Cricketeer, Asher, Sansabelt, Hathaway, Gant, Florsham, and comfortable sportswear by CB Sports, Jansen, Lord Jeff, and others from the men's department at Bell Cutson, Westgate Mall, and Hillcrest.
What starts with a K has one eye and loves the color orange. No, not a Clemson Tiger, but you're close. Mr. Knickerbockers, that's who. Because Mr. Knickerbockers is where Clemson Tigers do all their shopping. From head to toe for big tigers and baby tigers for your home, office, or even your car. Mr. Knickerbockers is your everything store for the Clemson Tiger fan. Catch the Clemson excitement this fall at Mr. Knickerbockers. 2 convenient locations, College Avenue, Clemson, and the Haywood Mall in Greenville.
Back to action now. Let's check this out. Ferguson and Perry. Uh-oh.
Well, that should be a 15-yard penalty.
Should be a disqualification.
William a little
head shiver
over-eager on that play.
Well, you're leading 48-0.
Glad to see Ferguson's okay.
They didn't do that in the NFL, did they, Kill?
That's an automatic 15-yard penalty, and as you mentioned, could be an expulsion.
Problem with Keith Williams, the linebacker, and they halt play for a moment. 2nd down and 4 for the Cavs at the 47. Rice And Perry standing triumphant at midfield.
I'll tell you, it is dangerous to be down there on the field in an orange jersey.
Well, and I would imagine right now your offensive linemen are just tuckered. They have no more energy. The desire is hard to muster up, and it's darn hard to protect the backs that have the ball right now, too.
Well, that's right. Clemson can just do anything they want on defense now and not have to worry.
Ferguson back to throw. He's got someone in the open word, but he can't hit him, and the ball's bounced about. Oh, what a catch. No, it's incomplete. What a try, though, by number 22, Nick Merrick. Merrick is he's a senior from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, 6'5". He was trying to reach out for that ball after it was tapped.
Well, Ferguson straight back in the pocket. He's going to let it go down the left side. Underthrows it. We're going to see Terrence Mack, the bandit, come in at the last instant here and almost get this ball right off the turf. There he is. Incomplete.
Kevin Brady is standing back on his 10-yard line as Ferguson gets a low line drive, but it's to the near side. Looks like it might go out of bounds. Finally goes out of bounds at the 6-yard line. So a nice kick that time puts the Clemson Tigers back to their 6 with 14 minutes, 5 seconds remaining to be played. The score, Clemson 48, Virginia nothing. Tigers breaking the huddle with Peretti at quarterback. Flagler out on the pattern, and Peretti's going to keep it himself and not pitch it back. Gets to the 15-yard line. Nice move by Peretti. Scott Matheson, the backup right tackle, making the move. He's from Virginia Beach, Virginia, a junior, 6'3", 250.
Oh, here's the replay, and yet another Clemson fullback. Duke Holloman, number 46, is going to throw a nice block here for Peretti. There it is right there. That allowed him to make the break downfield, and Anthony showing he's got some running ability as well.
Charleston to the near side on a 2nd and 1. Nice move right at the line of scrimmage by Flagler to get the first down. Lester Lyles making the stop.
Terrence Flagler, carrying for the Tigers. Lester Lyles on the stop.
The young quarterback who gave it all he had against such a powerhouse.
Really nothing Ferguson could have done to change this ball game around.
George Welch will let him know, too. Coach Welch is terrific at putting things in perspective. Tipped up into the air, but no one can get to it for the Cavaliers. That's the way their luck is going.
Well, this is a very dangerous pass by Anthony Peretti, something he's got to learn and will learn with experience. When you're throwing this 3-step drop, you can't pump fake in the direction you're throwing the short, quick pass, which is what he does right there. He reloads. By the time he reloads, there's Virginia defenders all around, and he's lucky to come out of that without an interception.
Ray Daly initially on the coverage there, so it's 2nd and 10 now from the 20-yard line. Peretti pitches and struggling for yards now as Flagler, as Ray Daly and Bob Sweeney come up to combine for the stop. Minutes and 47 seconds still remaining in this ball game. It'll be 3rd and 7 for the Tigers. Flagler now with 67 yards in 7 carries and 2 touchdowns. What a ball game he's had. Once again, that terrific depth by Clemson, just shuttling people in and out, all of them effective. Peretti bounces one off his end receiver, Dan Pearman, a tight end sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina. Here's Peretti.
I think this is 99 Riggs. And
you're right.
Peretti's got the ball just a little behind him. The kind of catch you'd like to see those receivers make.
Yeah. Dan Pearman, who is a tight end, is 89, and Riggs 99 coming out of that tight end spot. Sweeney is dropping back to his 35 as Hatcher puts one up into the heavens once again. Fair catch must be called over the shoulder at about the 28-yard line.
Unbelievable kick.
Let's check out the form of this great punter. Watch the extension.
Well, he's got the ball far away from his body to begin with. And second of all, you're right, the extension is terrific. Just a great athlete. I think he's going to be playing a lot of football. If you can call kickers football players.
Now, wait a minute. Word with the football to the 34-yard line. Mokowski is back in at quarterback. Don Mokowski, a sophomore from New York. 84 is Zimmerlich, the tight end. It'll be a second down and a long 4. Still 11 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the game. Handoff goes to Word. Word showing a nice burst of speed that he's capable of. Getting over the 45 up to the 47-yard line.
Well, even in defeat, Word has been impressive. He's shown us the kind of speed that most of the Clemson backs have.
They're not too happy. But the Tiger, he's so tired he's carrying his own tail. So the first down from the 48. William Perry. There's a tackle for a loss, and that's going toward another record.
Well, there's the animated William Perry. You know, that time William made the play like there wasn't even a center in front of him. Just stood up, 2 hands, brushed the center aside, made the tackle in the backfield.
Antonio Rice felt the heat that time as he was bounced down hard. 2nd and 12 to go with 11 minutes, 5 seconds remaining in the game. Quarterback, Mokowski, and the screen to Petty. Petty can't get too far by the midfield stripe as he's knocked out of bounds. Good linebacker play. Chucky Richardson.
Well, Petty makes a great play here just to get something out of this play because Steve Berlin runs right into him. Petty wanted to set up for the screen, stayed on his feet, made the reception, got some yardage downfield.
Did you see that attempted block on William Perry? I'd love to see that play again sometime. William just kind of
sort of high jumped.
Stepped over him, yeah. Uh-oh. Whoa! I don't think they saw it. Well, finally a flag comes down. Hanging on to the receiver that time was Eldridge Milton, intended for Merrick.
Now, if we've got pass interference, let me explain the new rule.
Okay. If we do, might as well go ahead as we see the action.
We've got the replay here. Mokowski straight back in the pocket, kept his backs in to help protect. And without a doubt, it was interference. I think it might be a question whether it was holding or pass interference.
Looked like the ball was going to be caught. They're going to give him a first down from the 45, Kim.
If the interference is within 15 yards of the line of scrimmage, the ball goes to where the foul was. If it's in excess of 15 yards, they just tack on off a 15-yard penalty. So there'll be no more 80-yard interference calls.
Going long. Intercepted now. Holding it down, number 25, James Earl. So James Earl, who has not been in the ball game long, picks it out of the air, intended for John Ford.
Well,
we know one thing, Mokowski's got a strong arm.
Well, he does. He's back in the pocket here. He pump fakes, lets it go down the middle. James Earl gets into the act, and I'll tell you, he's a free safety. He's 6'6", and he's bound to get a lot back there at 6'6", and he's only a freshman.
48-0 with 10:30 to go. The Clemson coaches have already left the press box. Peretti pitching back to Stacy Driver, and he makes the most of a tough situation that time.
Stacy Driver, number 21 carries.
Matheson, along with Lester Lyles, making the tackle.
And 7.
Gain of 3 on the play, so it's 7 yards to go for the first down. 10 minutes, 6 seconds remaining to be played. Rulak split to the far side. James Quick is the fullback. Stacy Driver, the tailback. Driver behind number 79, Cruz. Doesn't quite get the first down. Russ Swan making the tackle on the play.
Well, they came up short. They're going to have a 3rd and 1. There's the scoring, Art.
Setzkorn. Cheatham.
21 points in the 3rd quarter.
David Clayton, number 79 in the ball game. Driver 75 yards in 12 carries. It's a 3rd and 1. And Peretti just looking for the first down and to take the clock down.
Well, they went to the power play that time. We've got a flag down.
Katie Dunn is their tight end, and Holloman the fullback. Just looking down at the roster to make sure we have everybody identified, because Danny Ford brought 75 players on this trip. He played 75 last week. I wouldn't be surprised to see 75 when we see the ending game sheets.
I would
75
guess you're
playing
right.
tonight.
He's already got his backup kicker in the game. This is a personal foul penalty against Clemson, obviously.
You saw on the sideline earlier, a very disappointed George Welch, and he's a really nice guy, a workaholic as far as a coach is concerned. He'll get to the office around 5 in the morning. But he's very disappointed, and I tell you, he does not stand for a loss. And he's going to go right back to the drawing board tomorrow morning.
You can bet this Virginia team will be ready next week.
First down and 20. Peretti, Holloman. I'm sorry, Quick. And Quick doesn't make it quite to the 15-yard line before Bob Sweeney comes up.
Well, Peretti runs a draw here, and there's a coaching point involved at the quarterback position that I mentioned earlier with Ferguson. When you're running the draw, you try not to turn your helmet to the defense, meaning looking back for that ball carrier, because as soon as a defender will seize the back of a quarterback's helmet, he's thinking draw. And that time, dropping back, Peretti turned his head right away.
Butler comes to the near side. A 2nd and 17 now for the Tigers. Anthony Peretti back. Got his man. That's Butler, Richard Butler, the senior. Ware Shoals, South Carolina. Chris Kite pushes him out of bounds. Very nice execution by Peretti.
And this time a very smooth play by Peretti. He's on the dead run, rolling to his right. He's got 2 blockers out in front. Does not hesitate at all and sticks it on Butler at the sideline. A good throw and a good pattern by Butler.
They're going to have to measure to see about a first down possibility. It doesn't appear that they made the first down. Peretti now is 2 for 4 for 31 yards. He was 1 for 3 in the first game of the season for 32. So on a 2nd and 17, they make up most of the yardage. And it's first down. Just outside the 31-yard line. 8:18 remaining in the game. Sheldon Boyer to the near side. Ray Williams, no, it's Rulak to the far side as Peretti fades back. They're going to give him some passing experience. Avoids the rush beautifully. Peretti tucks it under and goes out of bounds. Scott Matheson finally pushing him out of bounds. I think it was Mattis that put the pressure on.
Well, here it is. Peretti on the play-action pass. Clemson wanted to go deep. He had both his wide receivers running fly patterns straight down the field.
That was Ron Mattis who had the hand on the helmet.
Here he shows us his athletic ability and makes something out of a play that could have been a sack.
2nd down and 10. The man in motion isn't even on the roster, and Peretti is dumped behind the line of scrimmage by Scott Matheson.
Well, he had enough time on this play. This is the roll to his left. Nobody open. He He had an idea of going downfield, but probably wisely ate the ball. Sometimes that's the best play a quarterback can make, is just tuck it under. Although on second down, you'd rather see him just throw the ball out of bounds instead of taking the sack. Clemson setting all kinds of records this evening, Art. The Clemson Tiger has done 201 push-ups this evening. I don't know what that means.
I don't know why you wanted that job. 3rd and 16. Good hit on Terrence Rulak. Daly made the hit. And it's my correction. It's Richard Butler, number 19, that got the hit.
Well, I'll tell you what, Anthony Peretti put this ball right on the money. He was straight back in the pocket, a deep drop. Butler ran a 20-yard crossing pattern, and Peretti stuck him right on the numbers.
Bob Sweeney goes back to his 34-yard line to await the Hatcher punt. Wonderful snap. And he puts it as high as the stadium is. Fair catch. Impossible to run something like that back at the 22. 1st and 10, Virginia.
Just another average 5-second hang time.
7 minutes, 9 seconds remaining to be played in this ball game. Clemson 48, Virginia nothing. We'll be back in just a moment. Action once again as we don't have very much time, and it's 7:03 remaining in the ball game, and Makowski runs for his life out of bounds at the 22-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 20. So it'll be a loss of 2 on the play. Still 7:03 remaining in the contest. Makowski fades back, hits his man at the 25. So it'll be a gain of about 5, making up a few. Complete to Zimmerlich.
And right now, George Welsh would like to see Makowski get some positive playing experience. That time a drop back, possession type pass. You know, you're just looking to make something positive happen. There's a Clemson fan.
Rick Bailey making the stop on the last play. From Melbourne, Florida, a senior. Makowski back to throw. Looks like an interception. Maybe no. He can't get to the ball. There's a nice breakup on the play by number 22, Mike Isaacs, on John Muha.
Well, Isaacs actually anticipated the pattern. He got in there before Muha made his break and was in great position. Makowski really put some mustard on that ball, though, Art. It was a pretty well-thrown ball.
Ferguson comes back into the ball game to punt, standing on his 11-yard line, 4th and 7. Kevin Brady is inside his own 40. Low wobbly kick, but it's been the best type of kick, though, for Virginia in this ball game. Ruled dead at the 42-yard line. Montanez getting down there for the Cavaliers. So next week, Virginia has to regroup. That's a tough thing. But they've got a lot of young players that are just starting to build this program. It is not easy to turn around a program.
Well, it's especially not easy when you're facing the number 3 ranked team in the country.
Peretti spins one. Ray Williams out of bounds at the 46-47-yard line with 6:10 remaining in the ball game. Clemson leading at 48-0.
Well, Peretti really picking up where Epley left off. He's showing us he can throw and throw on the run. Clemson's got a lot of depth, Art.
Peretti from Jacksonville, Florida, 6 feet tall, 190-pound senior. He's passed for 42 yards in the ball game. He's 3 for 6. Kim, what are you doing to those young ladies over there? That's all I can hear in my earphones anyway. Handoff goes to Steve Griffin, and he's met there by Stuart Mines from Elizabeth, New Jersey. First down for the Tigers at the 45. Another tremendous show of strength by the Clemson football team in their first ACC game of the season. Peretti holds onto the football for a gain of 2. Bob Sweeney makes the hit from the free safety spot. We mentioned earlier they've got the ACC streak going, Kim, and they're going to try to continue it on through. Although they do play Georgia next after a weekend off. How would you figure it? If you were a coach, would you like to have a game next week against Georgia, or would you like a week to prepare for it?
I think I'd like to keep the momentum going.
I would too. I would love to have, if I were the coach, especially against a pretty good Georgia team. They're always good quality football team. Peretti batted up into the air and almost intercepted. Number 75 got his hands on the ball. Anthony Bowling out of Washington, D.C., a junior.
I am sure that Danny Ford is not looking forward to the weekend off because he's got so much momentum going right now. They're all playing so well together, and you just don't like to see that stop.
Good pressure, forcing Peretti out of the pocket. David Clayton, number 79, trying to block for him.
Oh, it's a play action pass to the fullback. He has time to get rid of the ball, but now the defense swarms, and Peretti's lucky that batted ball isn't picked off.
Back to Griffin on the pitch. Oh, how did he get through the double team for the first down to the 35-yard line? You just can't tell these Clemson Tigers to let off.
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking. I thought he was going to go down, and all of a sudden he burst through. Boy,
Stuart Mines making the tackle. Griffin has really shown us some beautiful individual cutting moves.
There have been some beautiful individual moves out there today.
Griffin a tailback now, and a 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Peretti pitches back to Griffin. Boy, he has to get double teamed, and then a great tackle by Lester Lyles, showing his all-conference style that time and putting Griffin to the turf.
And you know what I like about Griffin on this play is he's a scat back burner type runner, but he runs up the middle, and watch him protect the ball on this play. It's the toss sweep, but he decides to cut it up off tackle. Look, he's got 2 hands on that football when he's running in there in trouble.
Griffin, 57 yards and 11 carries today. Number 44 still in the ball game at tailback on a 2nd and 5. They go to their fullback this time, and it's Henry Carter stopped by Ron Mathis.
Some of these starters for Clemson must feel like this game was played last week. It's been so long since they've been in the ball game.
Jody Cease into the contest up front. Number 77, a sophomore from Salem, Virginia, 6'3", 250. He's getting some good experience after being on the squad last year. Pitch back to Griffin. And he makes it down to close to the 1st down. We'll see where they place the football. Fourth down, 1 yard to go for the 1st down. Right at the 24. And with 3:21 on the clock, they're going to go for it. Griffin lunges forward. It's going to be close. Stuart Mines came bursting through and got a hand on the play to trip him up. And let's see if he got it. Griffin, of course, signals, yeah, I got it. He's pointing that way.
I think Griffin averaged over 6 yards a carry last week. He's right around that figure this week.
They place it down. 1st down, Clemson.
He's a freshman. Or excuse me, he's a sophomore. 5'10", 185 from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Well, Griffin had 34 yards last week and now has 59 yards in 12 carries. From the 24. Ray Williams, who's had a great ball game, in motion. There's Griffin battling his way to the 20-yard line for a gain of 4 yards. Mines and Scott Matheson combining for the tackle.
Well, there's been a lot of talk that To be ranked high in the standings, Danny Ford is going to have to run up the scores during the regular season because Clemson will not be making a bowl appearance this year. But that doesn't seem to be the case because he really is playing everyone on the roster.
Everyone. And he's kept fresh troops in there all the time. Griffin moves his way toward the 15-yard line, shy by a couple of yards of the first down before Lester Lyles comes up to make the play defensively. Well, they dropped from 7th to 11th without playing in a bowl game when the other teams did in the ratings, and it'll tell the tale at the end of the season as well this year, I would believe. Timeout is called down on the gridiron with 1:56 remaining to be played. Virginia wants the timeout, and it's Clemson leading this ball game 48-0. We'll pause now for a word from our local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network. The Clemson cheerleaders having lots to cheer about here in Virginia tonight. 3rd and 2 for the Tigers now as they lead it 48-0. Peretti still at quarterback, goes back to Griffin. He's got the student body blocking for him, but he decides to take the wrong angle. He goes outside when he had some yardage inside, so he'll look at the film and make that a learning situation.
He will. That's one of the few mistakes we've seen by a Clemson runner today. He had the hole inside, elected to go outside, but with 1:35 left in this game, I don't think it's going to hurt Clemson too badly.
Chris Kite making the tackle. The Tigers, of course, their next game, they have the next weekend off. It'll be at Georgia in Athens, between the hedges. Always a tough place to play, and what a great rivalry that is. The Virginia Cavaliers right here next weekend against VMI. 4th and 3. Peretti lets it go to Williams. Nice spin at the 9-yard line, gets down to the 5.
And what a day Ray Williams has had.
He's had a great afternoon and evening. You know, Clemson traditionally has had some second game problems after winning the first contest of the year. In fact, over the last 20 years, Clemson is only 3-11 in second games after winning their first contest. Well, this year, obviously, it goes against those odds. Ray Williams wide to the far side. It's a 1st and goal at the 5 with 54 seconds on the ticker. This already is the highest score.
Look out.
Touchdown. Oh, what a move. The second touchdown reception by Ray Williams. And Peretti this time gets the touchdown toss.
Well, you've got to be happy for Peretti. I like to see those backup quarterbacks get some action, and to get a touchdown pass is certainly a boost to his morale. This is the bootleg that they've been running all day. We're going to see Peretti fake to the tailback, then come back on a counter action to his left. He's got all day to throw the ball. And finds Williams open in the corner of the end zone.
All alone, Ray Williams. Igwebuike comes up to try the extra point. I was going to say before that touchdown that it's already the most points that Clemson scored against Virginia or any team. Igwebuike puts it up and it's good. 55-0. Clemson over Virginia with 44 seconds left to be played in this ball game. Let's check out the replay now as we get down close to the field. Peretti with 2 very nice fakes. In fact, you saw the fullback getting clobbered as he went into the line.
Well, that entire Virginia defense collapsed on the ball carriers. That left the cornerback out there man-to-man, and Williams put a nice move on him. Got open for the score.
Anytime you give a guy like Williams at least 3 steps of an advantage by making those cornerbacks or safeties freeze just a moment on that inside fake.
Well, that combined with the time that Peretti got to throw the ball, there's no way you can defend that play.
57 yards in 14 plays for the backups for Clemson in 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Peretti capping it off with a 9-yard touchdown pass to Ray Williams.
And a 14-play drive are the kind of drives coaches love to see.
Edmond once again setting to kick off. Igwebuike's replacement, and he's popping it into the end zone. They're going to let it go through. That might come out to the 30.
Well, it landed in the end zone.
You're right. They're putting it on the 20. It's got to go outside the end zone.
Right. It has to be a ball that is unreturnable.
44 seconds remaining to be played in this ball game. Makowski at quarterback, number 1. Ford coming to the near side. Penalty, too much time probably getting set. So that'll move it back to the 15-yard line.
Could be the last play of the game.
44 seconds to go. And the clock will roll with the snap. Word on the carry as he moves it back to the original line of scrimmage. Second and 10. It's going to be a fun ride home for the Tigers. Word, Barry Word, gets to the outside, close to the first down. He might have gotten it. 15 seconds on the clock. The young man from Long Island, Virginia, has had his workout behind Howard Petty.
And that's going to do it, Art. Big win for Clemson.
And that's it. From Scott Stadium. With the final score, Clemson 55, Virginia nothing. We'll pause now for a word from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network. Today's Brute player of the game is William Perry. Today's your Brute Day. Great days seem to happen more often when you're wearing Brute by Fabergé. After shave, after shower, after anything, Brute by Fabergé. Well, Kim, it was an outstanding ball game as far as the Clemson Tigers are concerned. They were hoping to get really a better challenge out of Virginia's Cavaliers, but how can you stop a machine that's rolling that well-oiled?
Well, they've got all components working well. Epley must be playing as good as anyone in the country right now at quarterback, executing the option, throwing the deep pass, throwing the short pass. He's doing it all right now. Defensively, total balance across the board. That defensive line that Danny Ford was worried about early in the season has already matured and is playing at a great, consistent level.
So they have the week off, and then they will face the University of Georgia. Georgia taking a 26-19 victory over Southern Mississippi in their first game of the year. That might be a good one.
Well, I think it'll be a great game. I think Danny Ford's probably a bit upset that he's got off a week because he's got the momentum going, and I'm sure he'd like to keep it up right now.
Art Ekman along with Kim McQuilkin, and we'd like to thank our sports information directors Rich Murray from the University of Virginia and from Clemson sports information director Bob Bradley. We'd also like to thank our assistant directors Tom Howard and Al Littlejohn. Today's game was directed by Toby Jenkins and produced by Tom Courtney. Clemson 55, Virginia nothing. Good night, everybody.